we're going Christmas book shopping.
I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about.
Know that in the past, going book shopping for the season has not worked out for me at all. During Halloween, I didn't read like one Halloween themed book, and we're gonna try again. Here's the thing, Christmas is my favorite season, and I do kind of want to get in this period. December is coming up, Thanksgiving just passed. We need to get ready for this season, so we're just gonna go attempt to get in the mood of buy Christmas book shopping. And then I'm also gonna show you guys some books that I have bought in the past few weeks that kind of give me those cozy vibes as well. I'll just take you guys along, and yeah, let's just go pick out some Christmas books.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Chestnuts roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So I'm offering this simple phrase. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Chestnuts roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So I'm offering this sample.
Alright, so I'm back from Barnes & Noble's. It's very late and we have no natural lighting because the sun goes down like at 4 p.m. So we're gonna have to work with it. But it was a semi-successful outing. I got a little bag. I ended up getting one actual Christmas book, and then I got 2 other books that I really wanted to get and that kind of give me the same Christmas vibe. You might disagree with this, but I kind of learned my lesson with not buying a bunch of books by the seasons. Just kind of wanted to see if there were any Christmas books that caught my attention, and there weren't that many. I got 1 book sent to me that is a Christmas book, and then I also got 1 at Barnes & Noble's, so I just kind of go through them, and the rest of them, they just kind of give me the Christmas vibe. I don't know how to explain it, they just do. So I'm gonna, as usual, show you the book, read the title, and read the back of the book, and yeah, let's just do a little book haul. Starting with the 3 books that I got at Barnes & Noble. So today is the Sunday after Friday, so they were still having some sales, and then I got lucky enough that one of the books that I really wanted is actually damaged, and I still took it and I got a bigger discount on it. That was pretty cool, and that is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hochul. Heard about this book by Destiny on here on booktok, on booktube, and then I've also heard a lot of people talk about it on booktok, and I don't know, it just kind of sounded like something sweet and cozy enough that I'm really gonna enjoy during Christmas time. So I'll just read you guys the back of the book. It says, when your nemesis also happens to be your fiance, happily ever after becomes a lot more complicated in this wickedly funny lovers to enemies to lovers romantic comedy. Naomi Westfield has the perfect fiance. Nicholas Rhodes holds door open for her, remembers her restaurant orders, and comes from the kind of upstanding society family any bride would love to be a part of. They never either preparing for their lavish wedding that's 3 months away, and she's miserable and utterly sick of him. Naomi wants out, but there's a catch. Whoever ends the engagement will have to foot the non-refundable wedding bill. When Naomi discovers that Nicholas too has been feigning contentment, 2 of them go head-to-head in a battle of pranks, sabotage, and all-out emotional warfare. With the countdown looming on the wedding that may or may not come to pass, Naomi finds her resolve slipping because now they have nothing to lose. They're finally living themselves and having fun with the last person they ever expect each other. I really like this because it's not the typical we get to see them fall in love book. It's actually they're already together and they kind of like fall in love again, so it's almost like a second chance romance. So I'm really excited for this one. And yeah, this is the one that was damaged, but I still took it. It was only like $8 after all the discounts, so good for me. Then this book just gives me the Christmas vibe. I don't know how to explain it. I know it's technically more so of a Halloween book. Not really. This is called The Dead Romantics. It does really give me that Christmas Carol vibe. That's why I got it, and I think it should qualify as a Christmas book. So this is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. Never read anything by her, so let's just read the description. I don't know anything about this book, so we're just gonna find out together. It says, Florence is the ghostwriter for one of the most prolific romance authors in the industry, and she has a problem. Anything with authors, I'm gonna say, it gives me the Christmas and cozy vibes. After a terrible breakup, she no longer believes in love. It's as good as dead. When her new editor, a too handsome mountain of a man, won't give her an extension on her book deadline, Florence prepares to kiss her career goodbye. But then she gets a phone call she never wanted to receive, and she must return home for the first time in a decade to help her family bury her beloved father. For 10 years, she's run from the town that never understood her, and even though she misses the sounds of a warm southern night and her eccentric loving family funeral parlor, she can bring herself to stay. Her father's gone, yet everything else feels the same, and she hates it, until she finds a ghost standing at the funeral parlor front door, just as abroad and infuriatingly handsome as ever, and he's just as confused about why he's there as she is. Romance is most certainly dead, but so is her new editor, and his unfinished business will have her second-guessing everything she's ever known about love stories. This is majorly a Christmas Carol vibe. I don't know. This is the vibe that I'm getting. Then we've got the actual Christmas book that I got at Barnes & Nobles. This was from the YA section. It's called Blame It on the Mistletoe, and this is by Beth Garrett. And then, I mean, look at the Christmas cover. Definitely Christmas. So it says, when Elle and Holly switch places, will they find all they want for Christmas? I feel like every single Christmas book has some type of like swap or switch, because the holiday swap, I had that one in my hand today, but it just didn't feel like getting that one if I was gonna get this one too. And I've had a lot of mixed reviews on the holiday swap, so we ended up going with this one. It says, as a social media star with the hashtag Dream Life, or so it seems, determined to shake up her content and gain new followers, she's on a mission. Can she find a British fan to swap houses with for the holidays? Okay, I didn't know this was majorly the holiday vibe. If you've never watched the movie The Holiday, I'm gonna put a picture over here. One of my all-time favorite movies, Christmas movies. You just have to watch it. And if this is the same vibe, I'm just gonna die. Holly loves everything about Christmas, but after a mortifying mistletoe disaster with her ex, her Beckford plans unravel like a bad Christmas sweater. Can Holly save the season by leaving Britain to switch places with her favorite social media influencer? As Elle settles into her new surroundings, she gets even more than she bargained for when she meets her sharp British boy across the street. And Holly wasn't expecting to come face to face with Ellen's twin brother, or that he would just be what she was looking for. For Elle and Holly, trading places just might prove to be the perfect present. This is like exactly like The Holiday, pretty much, with some mishaps. But if this is anything like the actual movie, and it sounds like it's gonna be, I'm here for it. Then onto the books that I have gathered lately. I haven't shown you any of these books on this channel, so I wanted to kind of talk about them. This one was sent to me by Read Forever Pup. This is Dreaming of a Heart Late Christmas. So since I already had this by Sarah Robinson, I just didn't feel like getting more Christmas books. Look at that cover. It's so freaking adorable. It says, to raise enough money to start her own business, Nola Bennett needs to sell the castle, her beloved grandmother's historic house, and get back to the city. But Heart Lake's most eligible bachelor insisted she hands onto the property. He may be one of the hottest, grumpiest she's ever seen, but Nola has no time to pine over her high school crush. I already like this. All wool worker Tanner Dean wants for Christmas is some peace and quiet, but that's not going to happen with infuriating, irresistible Nola Bennett back in town. This is such a Hallmark Grumpy Sunshine situation. How can he be persuaded to keep her castle out of her hands of greedy developers when sizzling attraction flares every time they're together? And the more time he spends with her, the harder it becomes to picture a future without her. Unless he can convince her once and for all the Heart Lake is exactly where she belongs. This is Hallmark in a book. I'm excited. Got a book that I'm already reading. I'm currently on page, where am I? So I'm like over halfway. I'm page 162. This is The Godparent Trap by Rachel Van Dyken. If you've seen the movie Life Happens, I'm gonna put a cover of the picture over here. cover of the movie over here. Honestly, this book is exactly like that, and that movie kind of gives me Christmas vibes. I don't know how to explain that. It just gives me some Hallmark vibes a little bit, and this book has been perfect to kind of get me into the, I wouldn't say Christmas spirit, but it's such a sweet, cozy read. I'm gonna read you guys the description real quick. Colby's living her best life as a popular food blogger. She gets to fulfill her dreams of exploring the globe, but her world comes crashing down when a tragic accident leaves her co-guardian of her best friend's 2 adorable children. Not only does she need to put down roots fast, but she's also going to be sharing custody with the one man she can't stand sharing a continent with, let alone a house. Accountant extraordinary Rip values money, values rules and plans, but when he loses his sister and his best friend and becomes an instant guardian all in one night, Rip sees his organized life imploding when he really doesn't really need his sister's irresponsible, flighty, albeit kind and gorgeous best friend making it worse. Rip doesn't trust Colby to take their new responsibilities serious, while Colby can't believe Rip thinks children will thrive under his rigid control. Yes, soon Rip and Colby discover that they need each other more than they hate each other. Could it possibly that following their hearts is just what they need, what their new little family needs? I can't even read anymore. But look at that cover. Isn't that just adorable? We got 2 more books, so just kind of power through it. So this book, it's a very popular book. It was recently turned into an HBO show. This is Birdtown by Frederick Backman. This is kind of like a murder mystery, small town situation, and it's mainly about hockey in like a really snowy town. And nothing gives me more Christmas vibes than the snow. So I had to get this, and I think it's gonna be a perfect Christmas read. Pretty much this is about a tiny community deep in the forest. Birdtown hasn't been the best at anything in a long time, but down the lake stands an all ice rink, and in that ice rink, Kevin, Emma, Benji, and the rest of the town juniors ice hockey team are about to compete in the national semifinals, and they actually have a shot at winning. All the hopes and dreams of this place now rest on the shoulders of a handful of teenage boys. Under that heavy burden, the semifinal match becomes a catalyst for a violent act that will leave a young girl traumatized and a town in turmoil. This is a story about a town and a game, but even more about loyalty, commitment, and the responsibilities of friendship, the people we disappoint even though we love them, and the decisions we make every day that come to define us. In this story, blah blah blah, I'm not gonna read that. Anyways, this just kind of felt like Christmas. The hockey, the snow, small town, a little bit of a murder mystery going on. I'm here for it. Lastly, this was probably one of my most anticipated reads for this year, and that is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. If you don't know, Lynn Painter is the author of Better Than the Movies. I'm gonna put a picture over here. I love that book. It's one of my favorite YA romances of all time. Shout out to Lynn Painter, of course, and then Haley Fan. She was the one that pretty much introduced BookTok and BookTube to this book, and I think she deserves credit for that. So I'm gonna read you guys real quick description. I think this is about this girl that relives Valentine's Day over and over again, and it just kind of gives me the holiday vibes. So I'll read the description. After living through a dumpster fire Valentine's Day, Emily Hornsby escapes to her grandmother's house for much needed girl talk and companionship. There, Emily passes out on the couch, but when she wakes up, she's back home in her own bed. That's not the only shocker, though. Sometimes it's Valentine's Day again, and the next day another disaster day. It seems that Emily is stuck in some sort of time loop nightmare that she can't wake up from as she rewatches her boyfriend Josh cheat on her day after day. In addition to Josh's recurring infidelity, Emily can't get away from the enigmatic Nick, who she keeps running into, sometimes literally and in fortunate ways. How many days can one girl spend passively watching her life go in flames, and when something good starts to come out of these terrible days, what happens when the universe stops doling out do-overs? So the cover of this book, as usual, Lynn Painter just has the best freaking cover. I'm obsessed with this. I have to read all of these books. Oh my god. Okay, so a disaster almost just happened. I have a lot of books to get through this Christmas, and you might see these books again when I talk about my TBR. There's a surprise in that video, so stay tuned for that. That's coming out probably this week. And I'm also thinking about doing maybe Vlogmas a little bit of a different way, so also stay tuned for that. So that brings us to the end of this video. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe button. Let me know what you're reading this Christmas, and let's, fingers crossed, maybe we can hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but if not, there's always next year.